Every woman, no matter how strong or independent she appears, has an emotional core that deeply values connection, understanding, and security. The fascinating thing about female psychology is that emotional bonding isn't just about love. It's about how certain emotions activate the brain's reward system, leading to what we call emotional addiction. These triggers are not manipulative tools. They're natural human responses to emotional resonance. Let's explore the 3 key emotional triggers that make women emotionally addicted. 1. The trigger of feeling deeply understood. When a woman feels that someone truly understands her, not just hears her words, but connects with the meaning behind them, something powerful happens inside her mind. The brain releases oxytocin, the same chemical that forms bonds between mothers and newborns. You see, most women move through the world feeling misunderstood, undervalued, or emotionally unseen. When someone enters her life and suddenly seems to get her, it's like emotional oxygen. She feels alive again, validated, and emotionally safe. This experience is rare, which is why it becomes addictive. A woman's emotions aren't logical. They're deeply sensory. The more she feels seen, the more her brain associates that person with safety and happiness. Every text, every conversation, every shared moment strengthens that emotional loop. This is why emotional connection often outweighs physical attraction in the long run. Feeling understood touches something spiritual in her. It makes her believe she has finally found someone who speaks her emotional language, a language that very few ever take the time to learn. 2. The trigger of emotional consistency and reassurance. Women thrive on emotional stability because it represents safety and trust. But what creates addiction is not just stability, it's consistent emotional reassurance. Every time a woman receives gentle affirmation, comfort, or validation, her brain releases small bursts of dopamine and oxytocin. Over time, she becomes conditioned to seek that feeling again and again. It's not the words alone. It's the emotional tone, the predictability, the calm energy that tells her she's secure. In female psychology, reassurance functions like a grounding mechanism. It tells her subconscious mind, "You're safe here." And once that emotional safety is established, she begins to crave the presence of the person who provides it. This is also why mixed signals can be emotionally confusing for women. When reassurance is given and then withdrawn, her brain goes into emotional overdrive, trying to restore the lost sense of safety. The mind becomes obsessed with understanding what changed, another form of emotional addiction that grows from inconsistency. The trigger of emotional excitement and uncertainty. While women crave safety, they also subconsciously seek emotional excitement. This paradox is one of the most fascinating aspects of female psychology. A balance of comfort and mystery keeps her emotionally stimulated. When a woman experiences emotional highs, surprise, passion, laughter, even playful challenge, her dopamine system activates. It's the same chemical process that occurs during anticipation and attraction. When these emotions are combined with moments of warmth and connection, it creates an addictive emotional rhythm. This rhythm keeps her engaged, alert, and emotionally invested. It's not manipulation, it's chemistry. The right mix of emotional safety and unpredictability makes her feel alive and deeply connected to the relationship. The addictive part is the anticipation, the waiting, wondering, hoping. The uncertainty keeps her emotionally engaged, replaying interactions in her mind, trying to interpret every detail. That emotional loop is powerful, and it's what keeps her heart involved long after the moment has passed. Emotional dependency in women's psychology is one of the most deeply rooted yet misunderstood aspects of human connection. At its core, emotional dependency doesn't mean weakness or lack of independence. It represents a biological and psychological design for emotional bonding. Women by nature are emotionally intelligent beings who connect through empathy, communication, and shared feelings. From an early age, many women are conditioned to value emotional expression as a pathway to closeness. When a woman forms a connection, She doesn't just connect logically, she connects emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically. Her mind links feelings with attachment, and her heart often leads her actions long before her logic does. In relationships, this emotional dependency can manifest as a strong desire for understanding, reassurance, and presence. When someone shows genuine interest in her emotions, listens without judgment, and validates her experiences, it triggers a deep psychological response. She feels safe. She feels seen. She feels that her inner world matters. This emotional security becomes the foundation of trust, and once trust is established, emotional dependency naturally begins to grow. It's not a flaw. It's a reflection of how emotional intimacy works. Women don't get addicted to people. They get addicted to the feelings that person awakens within them. Scientifically, emotional dependency is closely tied to neurochemistry. When a woman experiences affection, understanding, or emotional comfort, her brain releases oxytocin, the hormone that promotes bonding and trust. This same chemical plays a vital role in maternal bonding and romantic attachment. Each positive emotional experience reinforces this bond, creating a psychological loop where the brain associates a person with happiness and security. Over time, she becomes emotionally drawn toward the source of that feeling, seeking it repeatedly, much like how the brain seeks comfort, safety, and belonging. However, emotional dependency becomes challenging when it leads to over-reliance. Many women, especially those who have experienced emotional neglect or inconsistency, may cling more deeply to anyone who provides consistent attention and care. Their emotional system becomes highly responsive to even subtle signals of connection or disconnection. When the connection is strong, they feel alive and peaceful. When it weakens, anxiety and confusion arise. This cycle isn't about obsession, it's about emotional survival. The brain perceives emotional withdrawal as danger, prompting her to seek restoration of the bond. In healthy dynamics, emotional dependency fosters love, loyalty, and support. It allows women to nurture, care, and connect deeply with others. It's what gives relationships emotional depth and meaning. But when misunderstood or unbalanced, it can lead to emotional vulnerability, where a woman's sense of worth begins to depend entirely on another person's attention or approval. That's why understanding emotional dependency isn't just about relationships, it's about